Keith, hello.
How you doing, Kristen?
I'm doing
Good.
fantastic. I'm so excited about your new album.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a
Yeah,
wonderful relief to get it out finally.
I know. I got a little pre kind of preview of it before it's released, and the amount of friends that were like, "Come on, just send him." I'm like, I want to, but I can't. So you
Okay.
got a lot of people waiting on this,
Oh,
which is
great.
exciting.
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
I find it when I was listening to it, it's such a cool mix of like banjo in there, but then funk and then country Keith. And it's just like a really good mishmash of all of my favorite things about you. And I
Thank you.
love kind of the style. Some of my favorites are Wild Side. I love Straight Line and Heart Like a Hometown. Those are
Nice.
my top three on the album.
Thank you.
One thing that I found a bit jarring that I had PTSD with was the opening
Mm,
song,
mm,
Blue
mm.
Sky with the
Right.
alarm clock, because
Right.
the alarm clock is my arch nemesis
Oh
in life.
yeah. Yeah. Mine
What
too.
what was the what was the meaning behind that?
um, I wanted to start the album with Straight Line, and when I was in the mixing stage of the song, we messed around with a bunch of different ways to start the song. And I was never happy with the way it started. And I'm like, I feel like I need something to set it up. And I thought,
Mm.
well, that song feels like the kind of song that might come on the radio early in the morning. And as you're sort of bleary eyed and begrudgingly having to get up early, at least the song makes you feel good. And I'm like, okay, well then maybe I'll act that out. I'll act it out where my alarm clock goes off and it's just monotonous Monday morning crap, and I slam the alarm clock and just say to nobody in particular, just give me some blue sky, please.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
and then there's the song goes, here's your blue sky. So that was the reason for that.
I kind of love that now that I'm knowing the inside story of that, because I totally agree. Straight Line is such a hot track to as like an opener for the album. And it is something that would put a pep in your step as you started your day. So I actually love that it's this contrast of hating the wake up and your alarm.
Mm, mm.
And then all of a sudden it's kind of like this maybe Travis Tritt moment of it's a great day to be alive.
Right. Well, at least the song can help. Like if you're
Yeah.
like, I don't want to get up. I hate this moment right now, but at least the song's helping me get up, at least.
I'm gonna put it to the test tomorrow and
Okay.
I'll let you know and I'll be like,
Good. I
actually
hope so.
my yeah, my Thursday was pretty good or whatever
Hopefully
it
it's the
is.
audible caffeine that you need.
And then, so your last album was The Speed of Now Part One.
Mm.
Now we're obviously on to High. I don't know. I should we be expecting a part two, or is that in a later date where all of a sudden you're gonna be like surprise, or is that just it's
Man,
its
if
own
if
category?
we've learned anything from Hollywood, we can do a sequel 30 years later. So I got plenty of time.
Yeah, just remake an old album too. Just do a complete remake like they're doing now.
Yeah, yep, exactly. No, this I wasn't expecting 4 years to go in between the records, and the truth of it, it actually was only 2 years because I made another album in 2022 called 615 that I was gonna put out at the beginning of 23. Had 13 songs on it, and when I went in and played it for my team, I wasn't happy with it. I just
Mm,
it didn't do the thing for me that I wanted my album to do, and so I took 4 songs off it. Out of those 13, I kept "Messed Up as Me," I kept
mhm.
"Heart Like a Hometown,"
Nice.
"Daytona." It's another song, and then the last song, "Break the Chain." Those 4 I took from that album, and I started building a new one. So that's why it took so long.
Well, I kind of love that because that's your own integrity of I'm not going to put out something that I'm not happy with.
Yeah.
And, no matter how much time passes, I'm going to make sure that if I'm doing it, I'm doing it right. And I love that about you because I mean, you always put out great albums, but it's nice knowing that, you can be self-critical of what you have and then also be like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah, and it's just a feeling. I just want to get a
Yeah.
certain feeling from my records, and I didn't get it from 615, and I got it from this one.
Well, that actually leads me to my next question because your first album came out in 1991. And then, an iconic album as well, Golden Road, came out in 2002.
Mhm.
Reflecting back to those times of making your albums, what would you say is the biggest difference of how you approach a studio session now versus then? And just your general involvement in the project opposed to when you were maybe starting out and feeling a bit nervous or a bit maybe coy to the whole situation?
I actually don't think it's changed much at all.
Wow.
The 615 album that I scrapped was the first and only time I've ever done something where I thought I'll give myself a framework to work within. I'm going to make a certain kind of sound, and I'm going to, because my records can get adventurous.
Mhm. Which
anybody
we
that
love.
anybody that
Yeah.
knows my albums is sort of certain songs you're like, what the hell is this one? I don't even know what this is. They kind of go everywhere, and I thought maybe I need more discipline. Maybe I need more focus when I'm making a record, and that's what 615 was. And it turned out to, for me, when I listened to it, I went, it's missing all the stuff. Where's all the
Mhm.
other stuff? And so I learned to just make the records I've always made them, which is a mix of spontaneous fun in the studio and then a particular work ethic. And just those two things blended. There's certain days where we get in and we really work. We really focus on structure and making a song. And then other ones are complete mindless doofus fun, like laughing all the way to the drink. They're not serious songs. They're not rocket science. They're a cheeseburger. It's a blatant cheeseburger,
Everybody loves a cheeseburger.
right?
So, yeah,
So
that's
it's
great.
you just can't have steak every night. You want a
Yeah.
cheeseburger every now and then. So
Well, I love that, and I think that that is reflective of this album, of all your albums, is that you don't know where the next song is gonna go,
mm,
and it's always really fun when you get a transition into that song and you're like, like, I've been doing my makeup before and you kinda, like, stop and you're like, "Oh, okay," like, that kind
mm,
of feeling of, "I didn't expect this as the next
mm.
song or where it was gonna take you," so I really admire that out of
Thank you,
all of your albums.
thank you.
Okay, so in the last recent years, obviously there's been a huge trend with cross genre collaborations.
Mm.
This is a two-parter question. One, what artist do you think has really understood the assignment and kind of really grasped that country um that country feel that wasn't originally in the country genre? And secondly, what artist would you pluck from another genre to collaborate with?
Um, Post Malone has done it the best, just because
Mhm.
he's the real deal. So he didn't even have to try and do it the best. He's legit. Like
Yeah.
he legit knows country music and knows the history of it, regardless of how he was seen genre wise. He's the real deal. Um,
You can feel it with him. You
yeah,
can tell he loves country music,
he knows
and
his
I think
stuff.
that yeah, totally.
He knows it, and yeah. So he's done it right. Um, I think I'm anxious to hear the Lana Del Rey record because I think she will also do it right by drawing on elements of it in her own way. She's not going to just come in and do a yeehaw
Yeah.
boot scoot and boogie record. She's way too cool for that. And
Yeah, for sure.
already with the song she put out, um, it's so freaking good. So
Mhm.
I'm really looking forward to hearing her record. Uh, Collab wise, I want to do something with Banksy.
Oh, wow.
Why not? He's the best of the best of the best. He's so freaking good, so interesting, so fresh, so constantly um,
Unique.
manifesting what art is and what it can be and what it means, and having us constantly question its absurdity, its validity, its value, like nobody else does. He's unbelievable.
Very, very like, that was one collaboration I didn't see you ever picking, but I kinda love that. Maybe that's the reflective of your albums of, like, you don't know where you're going, and that's kind of what is such a great trademark to you, is that, you've always got a fresh perspective on things, so,
Thank
we
you.
love that.
Thank you.
And, we love the album. I mean, I've heard it, so I can say that I'm personally obsessed, and we
Thank
can't
you.
wait to hear more from it. And if you happen to release 615, you said?
Yeah.
651?
Yeah. 615.
615?
Yeah.
Yeah, 615.
Mm.
That's okay too. If you wanna do, like, a double, like, when, back in the day when Outkast released those 2 albums back to back, like,
Right.
Excited,
Yep.
maybe you do. Hi, 615. People make their decisions, who
You never
knows?
know. You never know. I'm happy with this one, and who knows what's next. I never know.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for taking the time today. It's always such a pleasure to chat with you.
You too,
And
Kristen.
hopefully you're going to be coming. Well, I know you're coming to Canada, but to
Oh yeah.
Vancouver very.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We were just on Vancouver Island not too long ago,
Yes,
so I'm
I
ready to
know.
come back. That's one of my favorite parts of the whole world is Vancouver specific. That's a
We
fun
usually
town.
get you here in September too. I feel like you're always here in September. So
Right.
this September is going to feel a bit lonely without you, but
I
next
should
year.
have been touring this year. This is what happened when I scrapped my record. I ruined the tour and pushed it into 25. So it's coming.
To quote your own advice, there's no crying on the yacht.
No
So,
whining on the yacht. That's right.
right.
Exactly. That's right.
Thanks so much, Keith, and have a fantastic day.
You bet, Kristen. Thank you.